What are some of the hardships you faced growing up?
Some of the hardships growing up that I faced was having a learning disability where I struggle now to understand certain things. Like science, I don't understand. In science, it takes the normal person takes maybe 2 or 3 times to memorize something. I take about 5 or 6, maybe 7 to memorize something. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it. And I can't read a book. It just won't happen. I can read a book and I'm not going to pick something up. You need to explain what I'm reading. Like in this chapter, so and so talked about this, and it's like, okay, that makes more sense. But then, growing up, I wasn't this big of a guy. I had to take seizure medication when I was a little kid, which one of the side effects was weight gain. So I've never been. So that was the unfortunate. So it's like I feel young and feel like a small guy, but yet I look like a bigger person. So that was the struggle of looking like I'm a bigger person. It's like, oh look, he takes up whatever, and it's like, whatever. In elementary and junior high, I was bullied, but when I got to high school, I just, fuck him. You know what? Say nothing, nobody wins. That's the reality. And then I joined theater in high school, which was a very open and accepting community to anything. You don't get judged. I did do sports. I played football for 1 year, and I didn't like that crowd because it's the jocks and the cheerleaders, and it's like, oh, we're gonna go do all this cool stuff. It's like, yeah, but sports aren't my life. I want to do other things. Sports are not fun, but football wasn't my passion 24/7. It was audio and going to concerts, and at the time I was merging into theaters. Like I wanted to do theater, and you know what? I couldn't juggle them all, so I gave up one. I said I don't need football.
Did you have seizures when you were younger?
No, and that's the really weird part. I didn't have seizures. I just stared off. I just stared off and don't remember what happened. Like that's the weird part. I didn't have like a full blown epileptic seizure. I just had staring episodes, and I couldn't tell you what you said the entire time of when you were talking to me, and I was staring away into something. And I mean, I haven't taken them in quite some time. I haven't taken them in like 7 years. Because I'm 14, I just said, screw it, I'm not taking them. I felt I was fine, and I didn't need them. And I haven't taken them since, and I feel absolutely fine.
How young were you when you first started taking?
I want to say maybe 7 or 8 when I started taking these meds. And I flipped through meds, and the last meds was the one that gave me weight gain and drowsiness, but the other meds I was taking was loss of appetite. So it's a total 180 of meds, and they kept just trying to figure out what to put me on. So being on that first round was like, all right, I'm not really hungry. And at the time I was like a skinny twig, so I was like, not hungry, that's a problem, because these meds are taking away my appetite, and if I did eat something, I felt awful, like, oh God. These meds made me nauseous after eating something. So you do the reverse where I'm like, I'm exhausted. It's like, oh, I'm really hungry, taking those first set of meds. Like, now I'm got my appetite back that was dormant for a while, and I'm hungry, and then I'm tired, and then weight gain was part of it. So it was weird just kind of flip-flopping the meds for a while until they locked down on one.
Did the doctors ever try to test you to see if you're just like does ADHD? You just like
No,
off.
they never tested for ADD, and I'm actually surprised because I have the world's shortest attention span in the entire world. Like, I sit and rock back in a chair because I can't sit still or I'll tap something. I'm surprised I haven't been tested for ADD or ADHD or any of them. I probably should have been, because I'm pretty sure I qualify because all the basic things they say is there. I think everybody has it, but I think I definitely got it pretty. That's the annoying thing with anything like seizure meds or ADD meds is like, you don't know what those side effects, some people say like, oh, those side effects never got me, but sometimes they do, and you don't realize maybe the first few times until later on you're like, man, that really does have a side effect. Like that's a kicker.